Hey guys, if you felt that the gaming year of 2013 lacked a little bit something, just you hold on to your asses, because this next year, 2014, has so many freaking awesome games coming out. In fact, so many I couldn't even do a top 10. I had to do a top 20. So these are them. Top 20 most anticipated games of 2014. Number 20. Kingdom Under Fire 2. Kingdom Under Fire 2 has been in development for a ridiculously long time. Announced back in 2008, originally for the Xbox 360, later moving to the PS3, before finally settling on PC and PS4, supposedly mid-2014. I have been waiting for this game for so long I nearly forgot about it. But this hybrid of a game mixes elements of MMOs, real-time strategy, and role-playing with a bit of combat from the Dynasty Warriors series in these massive battles. It is unmistakably beautiful. Its interesting and large enemy boss designs help a lot, and the medieval-inspired combat and sieges make this game one that's possibly worth the wait. Number 19. The Crew. At least one racing game had to make the list, as I'm a fan of the genre. The Crew, though, isn't your traditional, typical racing game, and that's why I think it has the potential to appeal to a much wider audience. This is a more social experience, one where you and your friends can just crew up together and drive across a persistent world, a recreation of the United States, not only doing races with each other and against other players online, but doing some really fun and creative mission types and side quests along the way. There's both high-performance cars as well as dirt track and off-road based vehicles. Hell, the extensive car customization with its blowout visual style alone is enough to make car culture enthusiasts drool, including myself. Players can even build and modify their cars via a tie-in mobile app when they're away from the game. The racing genre needs innovation. It needs a game like this. And if everything works as advertised, you're going to see this racer on plenty of best of 2014 lists. Number 18. Deep Down. Oh yeah. Capcom's extremely impressive PS4 demo at E3, Deep Down, has emerged as an interesting but unexpected title. I thought it was nothing but FMV footage, but apparently it's in-game. It's a free-to-play title, 4-player cooperative, all with randomly generated dungeons, which are sort of a part of memories from certain artifacts that players will put into their apartments that they visit in the year 2094. It almost reminds me of like the Assassin's Creed games. And while I would have rather have seen like a Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm open to what Deep Down can potentially offer us. I mean, how can you not be excited about dragon slaying? Number 17. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Buyer beware, this one has dropped a little bit on the list when it came to light that the entire experience of this Ground Zeroes could be completed in just under 2 hours, less than that during a speed run. And while others argue that there are side quests and a small open world to explore that can add to its value, I worry that this is just a glorified demo that everyone needs to pay $20 all the way up to $40 for. That's the Xbox One version or the next gen versions. Basically, we'd be paying for those prologues that we used to get for free at the beginning of previous Metal Gears. In any case, good or bad, this title is going to sell bucket loads, which could either spell disaster if other companies follow suit with their AAA franchises, or it could be a good thing, satiating our desires before the main release. It remains to be seen if Ground Zeroes can deliver a worthwhile experience for its price point, but seeing how good Metal Gear's track record has been, it's hard not to be excited and put this one on the list. Number 16. The Evil Within. Seeing how much fun I had in Outlast, me and other Joe are chomping at the bit for more great and scary horror games. The Evil Within should satisfy. It's being developed by Shinji and published by Bethesda. Okay, he's basically siding with us now, saying that Resident Evil is too action-oriented and it wants to make a true survival horror the way they used to be in the originals. Is it the new Resident Evil that fans have been waiting and asking for? Only time will tell, but everything we have heard and seen so far points to yes. Number 15. Dark Souls 2. I'll admit it, Dark Souls kicked my ass. It kicked my ass so hard all over the damn place, and I haven't even got a chance to finish or review it. I won't be making that same mistake with the hotly anticipated sequel. Dark Souls 2 is twice the size of the original, and while easier for newcomers to get into, it is by no means getting easier to beat. Okay, twice the size, twice the pain. Smarter AI enemies, improved covenants. Dark Souls 2 sounds like it's just gonna be just as delightfully evil and as addictive as the original. Number 14.
I'm Samuels. I work for the company.
Alien Isolation.
It's about your mother.
So we all know the disaster and outright betrayal that was Aliens Colonial Marines. In my review, I begged for a title in the Aliens universe that played up the horror elements of battling xenomorphs in a survival setting with tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. And Creative Assembly answers the call with exactly that. And while I'm hesitant about a traditional strategy studio taking on a horror FPS, I am encouraged by all the media and the openness from the devs so far. They hope to deliver exactly what fans have been asking for and help wash away the bad memories of Gearbox's major fumble. Will the negative press surrounding that title hurt the sales of this one? Who can say? But with an interesting story and some seriously creepy environments, this could be just as good of a title like Amnesia or Outlast, just in the depths of cold, unforgiving, never-ending space.
We get to shut the book. Ripley.
Number 13.
There is a crusade coming.
Galactic Civilizations III.
A crusade led by humans. And with it, the end of all things.
I'm obsessed with my love for the 4X strategy genre. Expand, explore, exploit, and exterminate. Unfortunately, we've seen a lack of them, and the recent rebirth of them lately has resulted in nothing but buggy messes, abandoned software that companies couldn't manage to fix, or worse, complete failures. Sword of the Stars, Legends of Pegasus, Star Drive, and others like Star Horizon and Star Lords just don't have enough to them yet. And the solid Endless Space is great, but I cannot stand its combat system. Where is the 4X game for me to look forward to? Well, I found one and you guys are gonna like it. And as a bonus, it's a franchise that in the past has been solid, and that is Galactic Civilizations. Stardock has teased their upcoming sequel with improved features to the map, freeform ship design where you can make literally anything, improved alien diplomacy, AI, multiplayer, and perhaps most important to myself, an improved and robust combat module. I've already pre-ordered my copy, and this is one game that I am proud to support, especially after being so let down by those others. Here, I feel like my trust is well-founded. If you love sci-fi, building an empire, or strategy games in general, you need to check this one out. Number 12.
Civilian fleet's right behind us. Most of the ships are running on fumes right now.
We're out of options.
Titanfall.
Now or never. Either way, we need this fuel, or none of us are gonna make it. The fleet's counting on you. Go, go, go!
McCord, take your squad up this road. The rest of you, move through this building behind me and secure the area.
Microsoft hopes that Titanfall can be its Xbox One system seller. It has the ingredients to be a big hit. Developed by Respawn Entertainment, the pedigree of online shooter is there, but can that translate over into this new franchise? From what I've played, yes. It is a perfect mix of the best of both worlds. The twitch shooter during infantry combat, the strategic gameplay of mech combat, combat in which you can soak a bit of damage before going down. That allows you to react to ambushes, to correct mistakes that you've made, to coordinate with your team, to regroup and hit the enemy back without it feeling cheap, like getting kills because a bullet brings you down in half a second. I have always dreamed of a mech game where you could get out of your mech and battle on the ground with other infantry. And this game does exactly that. It even spices it up with jump jets and a bit of parkour for the vulnerable on-foot pilots. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not this game has enough depth of content without a single-player experience to be worthy of its $60 price point, or even the system seller title that MS wants it to be so badly. Now, I've got more on this one, as I have gameplay footage and impressions coming up in a future video. Number 11.
And of course, the only downside being that, nope, can't think of anything. This is pretty freaking awesome.
Infamous Second Son.
I'm kind of bummed out that there's really not a lot of new games for next-gen consoles right now to buy. I mean, thankfully, right around the corner comes Sony's open-world heavyweight, Infamous Second Son. Hoping to be a system seller like MS hopes Titanfall will be for the Xbox One, Second Son continues the franchise. It's set 7 years after the events of Infamous 2, and it follows a new character, Deslin, who can make use of multiple power sets this time, and cool new powers like smoke and neon. Gameplay videos have been rather impressive, with believable animations and great voice acting. Let's hope the game can live up to the hype and excitement that Sony has attempted to generate for it. But why the Italian pre-order edition of the game comes with an energy drink and glow-in-the-dark condoms is anyone's guess. Yes, because Deslin likes to use his neon powers on his member before sex, or maybe it's just as simple as to prevent the occurrence of a third son. Yeah, that was bad, I'm sorry.
Number 10. South Park, The Stick of Truth.
You want to throw down, bro? Prepare to attack from behind! This ends here. Woo-hoo.
Don't ask why Kenny wanted to be a chick, it's just how he seems to be rolling right now.
The new kid has a power we have yet to understand.
You still think this is a game, young man? Okay. Check out.
Delayed a few times, but not out of my mind. I am incredibly excited for South Park Stick of Truth, the RPG. Recent gameplay videos, although short, have pretty much confirmed that these guys have nailed the look and feel of the show like never before. Seriously, it looks like you are playing an interactive episode of the real series. With the creators backing, voicing, and writing the project, I'm convinced that it will be true to the series and have ton of great jokes and an outrageous storyline. I cannot wait to kick ass with my own created character in the world and universe of South Park.
My key!
His powers were too strong. The bard, he's up in one of the rooms. They took Princess Keene. They took her upstairs. I'm sure they're gonna rape her. Don't let them rape Princess Keene. How badly did they rape you? I am a level 10 bard. I shall make haste to Koopa Keep.
Sunshine! How am I supposed to do all this?
Number 9.
I ruled the wizard's circle and reduced it to dust and shadow.
Age of Wonders 3.
I made way for a new age, for you to inherit. Create an empire in your own image.
Did I say I'm obsessed with 4X games? And here we have a potential crowning jewel. This fascinating and beautiful turn-based strategy game mixed with RPG elements was so interesting that Notch, owner of Minecraft's Mojang, became a huge fan of it just like I did, and even contributed a large investment towards its completion, only benefiting the game further that already seemed rich with content. Thankfully, Triumph Studios now has the resources to deliver in this incredibly deep and rewarding genre. You control leaders and heroes and armies, you build up cities in your empire, and you engage in turn-based combat on a hex grid battlefield with unique spells and abilities for each unit. Civilization and strategy lovers everywhere need to take notice of this one, because we should be in for a real treat and possibly a new measuring bar for 4X games to come.
Number 8.
In this city,
Watch
no one
Dogs.
can hide from me. No one. They think I'm a man out of control, but I've never had so much control.
Again, delayed from last year, but not forgotten. My hopes for Watch Dogs are high. An open world experience that provides us a little bit more than we are traditionally used to with its hacker technology and its social media focus. Using fists and wits instead of just straight up shoot 'em up gameplay to complete various missions and objectives. It even has confirmed multiplayer elements. We have been blasted with gameplay and media long enough. Now it's time for the actual game to release this year and give us what we want. Exploring and messing around with the world in Watch Dogs is no doubt gonna be fun and one experience you can put hours into, but I only hope that the storyline is just as fascinating as the world that's been created here.
Number 7.
Snowdrop uses a light probe system that captures lighting realistically.
The Division.
To enhance immersion, surfaces react with unprecedented physical accuracy. We live in a fragile world. The Snowdrop engine makes this world a reality. Be prepared to enter the next generation of gaming.
Hot damn, there has been an explosion of New World IPs, hasn't there? I'm thankful for it as long as these games continue to improve on the formulas that we all know. rewarding exploration, continuing to pack in and improve detail, and innovate in unique ways. The Division seems to do all of these things. First, it's one of the more graphically impressive titles that I've seen, with bullets doing some seriously impressive context-sensitive damage to cars and its environment. Now, the world is in chaos, a disaster has occurred, and you are trying to pick up the pieces and figure things out, all while competing with rival groups of survivors. This MMO twist without the MMO trappings within a AAA open world is a great idea, and I hope that it works just as planned. Now, supposedly, there are thousands of weapon types, skill combinations, and gear to collect and find with your friends. Finally, the innovation doesn't seem to stop just there. No, there's even a companion app for mobiles that allows your friends to play as those drones, helping your team out in the game when they're away from their consoles. That shit is very cool.
Whoa, it's another group of players. Brace for PvP.
You guys ready?
All units to break the 360 take their course. Engine 4, the fire split into the building.
Backup.
Possible victim of two weapons barricaded.
Number 6.
Destiny.
The fight to take back all that has been lost begins here.
Bungie is a legendary studio at this point, having achieved massive success with its Halo franchise. So naturally, Bungie's next project with Activision is seen immediately as a game changer. This game has also been described, like The Division, as an MMO-like experience. Bungie, like Ubisoft, has tried to steer clear of that by calling it a shared world experience, as it only matches you with players when it needs to, in cooperative or competitive combat zones or in the cities, instead of just populating the entire world on your server with the players. The world that Bungie has created here looks extremely fascinating. It's mysterious, the alien types and art design look great, the weapons look awesome, and in the game you are tasked with holding the line against these invading forces, encroaching on humanity's last city. Being an always online shooter, Bungie hopes that the game events will shape the world and the future story as the game naturally plays out. Now, what the hell this means and how it changes exactly the world remains to be seen. But with a studio like Bungie behind it, Destiny seems set to take the fiercely competitive world of first-person shooters head-on with its new features and its unique innovations. And I cannot wait to see what's in store for us.
And if we can fulfill our destiny, we will become legend.
Number 5.
If Creative Assembly can keep their new upcoming Warhammer Fantasy battle game bug-free, we can have one of the best strategy games on our hands of 2014. I expect them to put as much attention to detail and get the most out of the lore and the universe of Warhammer as they do with the historical time periods in Total War games. If the AI is competent, this game could really make it far. This is maybe just what CA needs, a change of pace to a fun, lighthearted game to work on. This Warhammer Fantasy Battle license can do that. I'm sure that they're gonna make the orcs brutal and gross, the Empire shiny as hell, and the Chaos bloody and spiky. If it's done right, Creative Assembly can take that Warhammer Fantasy license and launch it into the mainstream strategy consciousness, and I cannot wait to march my armies across the campaign map. And I hope there's plenty of good multiplayer modes too.
Number 4.
Star Citizen. Star Citizen 2015. And while the final and more substantial features of Star Citizen are sure to release in 2015, it's a safe bet to assume that at least the dogfighting module will be out this year, delayed to improve the module and give players an even better idea of the final game. We are all looking forward to making our first space launches in whatever fighter or larger ships that we purchased, especially the Angry Army. And this needs to happen soon, as people are starting to get rather antsy and, in my opinion, are growing tired of the constant microtransactions and new ship and side purchases that are trotted out regularly. Okay, guys? We are ready for the next substantial update. I think you got as much money as you need, okay? And perhaps more than any game on this list, Star Citizen has a lot to prove after its continuous monumental successes, okay? If this was any other team, I would be highly suspect and highly worried. But if anyone is gonna deliver on the space combat genre, it's gonna be Chris Roberts and company. So say we all. Please, don't fuck this up.
You can take the ships you have in your hangar and fight against other players, sort of more traditional deathmatch, matchmaking, or against AI, and you can practice and hone your dogfighting skills and give us valuable feedback in the balancing of the ships and the weapons. We can see how many players in one area is fun. So if you want to be playing parts of the game, seeing how the game is developed, having your voice heard and having your feedback, then you should join now rather than wait.
Number 3.
どうした？食べないのか？
美味しくないよ。
でもそんなことを言うな。料理人が仕事を失う。
Final Fantasy XV.
ルシスの血は根絶やしにすればいい。
なんだかめんどくさいことになってきたな。
Guys, this game is gonna be fucking huge. Mark my words. If you haven't seen any media on Final Fantasy XIII Versus, now dubbed Final Fantasy XV, because they realized in their heads that it's good enough to be a main game free of the 13 moniker that it has nothing to do with, everything you see in the gameplay trailer is real time. You need to see this trailer. That's right. This Final Fantasy is unlike anything before. It ditches that crappy paradigm shift combat mechanics where you mostly watch battles play out for a more hands-on, action-based approach, like a Devil May Cry. There's verticality, there's special attacks, there's even what I dare say is the most natural party cooperation attacks I have ever seen happening in real time. Plus, the story isn't this nonsensical crap like the Foul Sea. No, this is a story that's easier to relate to. Think Godfather, think Goodfellas or Scarface. It seems to be like this mob family under attack from their rivals as they try to wipe them out after they discover something really interesting. Opening levels take place in familiar scenery that never loses its sense of fantastical and fantasy. Final Fantasy XV has the ability to bring in not only the traditional fans of JRPGs with its story depth and its cinematic cutscenes like we're used to, but now also the BioWare and Bethesda fans, the Western RPG guys, with its new and open combat system. I'm telling you, this is exactly what Final Fantasy needs right now, and it cannot get here soon enough. Hopefully it hits its rumored 2014 release date. Please just watch this 3-minute gameplay trailer and you will immediately understand why I am so excited about this game and why it's so high on my list. Trust me.
とにかく城へ行こう。奴らの目的は何なんだ？やはりクリスタルだと思う。ニフルハイブはこれまでにもソルハイブ、テネブラへアコルドのクリスタルを手に入れようと戦争を起こしてる。親父、逃げてるらしいぞ。ああ、合流を急ごう。おい、気ぃつけろよ。奴ら本気で殺しに来てるみたいだぞ。
Number 2.
As this world is torn asunder.
Dragon Age Inquisition. BioWare is taking a page from Skyrim for their next Dragon Age and opening up their world into a vast, explorable map filled with tons of side quests, castles, and keeps to conquer and bring under your control as you build your army under the Inquisition banner and prepare to resist a demonic invasion. Combine what made Dragon Age Origins so popular, multiple playing races and customization with a modified combat system that was in Dragon Age 2, and give it an open world and improve the graphics and art design, and you've got yourself Inquisition. The story and progression will also get an overhaul, as players can influence areas of the world and make critical life and death decisions for those that they command and those that they protect. And that can be reflected in real time and seen in the world. Now, Origin fans will be happy to note that there are actually 2 combat systems for the game to choose from. The action-based one, or a more traditional top-down strategic version that mimics the first game. Dragon Age 3 looks to be a direct response to those who lost heart from the disappointment that was Dragon Age 2. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us and how it plays out. I have full confidence that BioWare can come back into our good graces.
Darkness closes in. Will you stand against it? Or lead this world to its bitter end?
Number 1.
We watch your petty world slumbering. You cannot defy the cold mass deal. You can only surrender.
The Witcher 3.
I saw a long ship made of the claws of dead men. The wraiths drove everyone to the shore. My daughter too. No man who meets the hunt returns to this world.
I returned.
What can I say about my excitement for Witcher 3 that hasn't already been said, okay? I pee my pants every time some new media comes out, and I am dying for you guys to see the locked, closed doors, 30-minute demo if it will ever be released. It will convince you right then and there. Basically, you take one of the best RPGs in The Witcher 2 and make it even better by taking it into an open world that's just as richly detailed as its more linear brothers. That's insane. And make it the final game for Geralt with an epic storyline conclusion. Throw in monster hunting with unique ways to learn about them, track them down, and exploit specific weaknesses in meaningful ways with every monster in the world, not just bosses, and you've got a potential masterpiece in the making. Game of the Year written all over it. I hope that CD Projekt Red can deliver on this, as it will vault them directly to the head of the pack. I cannot wait to play Witcher 3. I hope you guys agree with me. Well, that's my list of top 20 most anticipated games of 2014. You didn't see No Man's Sky on there because I think that's 2015. But if you think that I missed anything, or you want to point out a game you're most excited about that wasn't on the list, put it in the comments. And if any of my games on my list convince you to be excited about it, I want to hear about it. Now that the top lists are done, I've got reviews coming your way, so please, I know it's been a while, but there really hasn't been all that many releases during the January-February time frame. So stay tuned for more angry reviews, and I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Warhammer Fantasy Battle.